Hello, and welcome to the Weird Waves podcast. My name is Taylor, and this is episode 29. On this week's episode, we talked to Irina Shumilova. She is a surfer, graphic designer, illustrator, and all-around creative, originally from Moscow, and she just recently moved to Portugal. This is a classic story of someone who surfing literally changes their life. She was originally working as a fashion designer in Moscow, went on a trip surfing, and was hooked. I love this episode because she really explains the childlike wonder that you feel when you're doing something new. And as surfers, we know we get that feeling every time we get to go surfing. So I really hope that this episode inspires you and that you enjoy it.
Fine. So you are now in Portugal?
Yeah, south of Portugal, Algesur, lovely place.
That's cool. So I guess let's start by you introducing yourself.
Yeah. Actually, Portugal was first place where I started surf, so it's something special for me, special place.
And what is your name is Ira?
Ira, yeah, it's short name, full name is Irina, short name is Ira, and that's why like my art nickname is Ira Shu. So Shu is first letters of my last name.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in big city in Moscow, so it's nothing about this, and I was just fashion designer basically. So it's also was about art, but I felt like I wanted something new, and when I started surf, I realized what I want to do.
That's awesome. So you studied fashion design in Moscow?
Yeah.
And how did you end up in Portugal for your first time?
It was just holiday, I like to travel alone, like solo traveler, and one of the travels was Portugal, and I found out that it's a good place to start to try to surf. So I tried, and it's funny because when I go there, like people told me that surf will change your life for sure. Like even if you will be totally bad, it will change your life for sure somehow. And I think these people had no idea how right they were actually about this. Because yeah, I quit my job in Moscow and I go to Asia first of all, like and start make art there. Actually, it was just little room with surfboard, with fan, and with simple bed, and that's it. And I wasn't about parties, so I just start drawing sometimes in evenings, And then some people tell me, oh, maybe you want to sell it for some brands or for something. And then some brands actually made me offers like, oh, we would like to make this as prints to use this, or maybe you can make logo for us and all this. And that's how I start basically. So it was really naturally.
That's so cool. So, did you use the same skills that you kind of learned through doing fashion design, or did you kind of learn different skills to make the art?
Uh, I could tell that, yeah, of course, it was helpful that I have some background, art background. So I know some technique and I know how to use some colors different way. But in same time, I think more useful for me was art school, and it was classic art school with watercolor, because that's what I love to use, and with some graphic. And for now, I just mostly like to mix watercolor in graphic and graphic design just because it's easier to use for printing and for everything. But yeah, so yeah, for sure it was helpful.
Did you so which part of Asia were you in when people started, or you were just all over?
No, not all over. Well, in beginning it was just Bali, just because everybody was in Bali, and I decided since I'm sorry, I have to go there just to see what is it. But I was about to stay there for a couple of months maybe, uh, and yeah, I stayed like a couple of months because of volcano basically. uh, and then I had like shitty love story, but it doesn't matter. Thing is, I stayed there for a year. And when I came back, I already know that I don't want to stay in Moscow anyway. And then another year I came to Philippines, just because I love Asia, and Philippines was even more lovely. I can't tell about all Philippines, but Siargao is lovely place. I don't know, impossible beautiful and beautiful people. And yeah, I just kept working as art, I don't know, as artist in so many options. I still work with clothes sometimes, with surf brands mostly. But yeah, so I don't know. Here we
And
go.
when you would go traveling, would you like work and then save up money before and then like, or would you just make money from selling your art to keep going?
Well, of course, you have to have some savings before you go because you never know how fast you can find some options to make some money for travels and for life. Um, I don't know. So yeah, but I always work somehow, mostly from distance, even sometimes with local places, but mostly I still work like online with same companies, with new companies. Instagram is really helpful in this too.
Yeah,
So it's a way to find new customers and new people who can be somehow interested in my art.
that's so cool. And are people mostly wanting custom work from you, or they're saying like, "Oh, I like that you did this. I want to buy this from you."
Mostly I make just designs, so I can send them just online because it's easier. But some people want something like handwork, and I love to do it. It's just a bit annoying to send it somehow,
Yeah.
because post is always complicated stuff. Right now, I'm worried about like I do these matryoshkas, if you know,
Yeah.
like Russian dolls. Uh, it's another funny story actually how I start to do it. When I quit my office job and I was looking for any art job like freelance, and one Russian company, I was still in Moscow at the time, was looking for artists to make just matryoshkas, just classic matryoshkas for sale. And I did something for them, but they never paid me. And I had some models. And in progress, I already realized that it would be cool to make them like surf guys, little surf wooden guys. And when they didn't pay, I decided, okay, maybe that's a sign that I have to do it. And I start, and I sell first pretty fast to business Russian guy, but he was crazy about surfing too. So his friend just bring it as gift to him, and he was happy with it. And some more people asked me to do it. So yeah, it's kind of like my thing, and I'm pretty happy with it.
It's so unique. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I like. That it's still something mine, because a lot of people make art to now, like surf art too. And of course I have my style, but still this is something mine, this is something different.
Yeah. It's very unique. So, how you were just in Russia? How long were you there for?
In Russia,
Mhm.
last time I was there pretty long, but it was because of mostly, work things and some my private family things. I had to
Mhm.
stay there a bit longer. I was suffering honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how that
Because
was
I
from.
miss ocean a lot, yeah, but it's so good. It happens. Sometimes you need time to miss, to love it even more. So
Yeah.
yeah. Only one
That's
point now. It's a bit hard to start surfing again, but it's all good.
right. So, what kind of boards are you riding when you're surfing?
Well, before I ride like 6.3 or even 6, but mostly 6.3. But now I'm about minimally blue because I have to start over and it's easier to pedal.
Yeah, that's right. That's Mini Malibu is definitely a good like if you know how to surf in the basics, but you're out of shape a little bit.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
lose
board.
shape totally, so I have to come over.
Yeah, it comes back quick though. That's good.
Hopefully.
So, what is your plan when you are in Portugal?
In Portugal, actually, I just arrived, so now I'm basically just finishing my projects, and I still have a lot of things to finish. But I already can see a lot of opportunities because in Portugal, people like all these art things and they like handiworks. And I already met couple amazing Portuguese surf artists. They're amazing, and yeah, it's really something. I feel like it's right place to start something new, maybe.
That's cool. And when you are selling your art there, are you gonna do like markets and stuff like that, or just kind of try to find people?
Thing is, they already have markets, so yeah, maybe I can try this option too. I never did it honestly before,
Hmm.
but yeah, it would be fun to try because it's pretty popular here, and I'll join my friends to do it.
Yeah.
But basically, I still want to work online just because it's easier for me, and I like that it gives me possibilities to moving it something. If I decide that I want to travel somewhere else, I just keep working, and that's it.
Yeah. That's a little more flexibility, which is cool. I mean, Instagram has just opened up a whole new world for all different types of people to connect with each other. It's really cool.
That's true, yes. Because if you have just website, it's so good, but you have to promote it. With Instagram, it's so getting easier. Because yeah, with all these hashtags, you know it.
Yeah, it's how I found you.
So yeah, I'm impressed that now I work with some people in Australia, some people in California, some people in Europe, and some people in Russia too, for sure. And it doesn't matter where I am, I still can keep working with them.
How do you figure out your prices?
Process?
Prices, like how much you
Price?
charge.
It depends. Mostly, I just ask another artist honestly how they make it, and another point, I know how much money I make. Like when I work in office, more or less, I know how much I had like per hour. So I just check how long it takes to make something, and mostly I just use this. So it's pretty honest price. I know that a lot of artists charge way more, but uh, I don't feel like I want to charge more yet. I'm not famous.
Well, you have a reasonable price. That's cool. Then more people can buy your stuff.
Yeah, I like to work with new brands and with new people. They're kind of more excited, and so I don't know. I really like to do something that people really love, and I know that for new brands it's kind of hard to pay a lot. So I'm okay with this because yeah, I just like to see when my art go in life. I like to see stuff with my art. It's always make me happy somehow.
Are you still doing anything related to fashion design, or are you mostly focused on your art now?
Yeah, I still work with sur brands, and right now I'm working with one little brand in Indonesia, and they making wetsuits
Mm-hmm.
with prints. So I help them a lot, a bit with construction too, and with prints.
That's
So
cool.
it's just easier for them and for me because I kind of actually I was designer of swimsuits, so it's easier for me.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so it's kind of not a problem, and it's just my thing. So yeah, but in general, no, mostly just prints.
That's cool.
It's mostly just exception when I have something like little project and I know that it's totally my thing and I totally can do it. Then I say yes, sure.
And where all have you traveled?
Hmm?
Where all have you traveled?
Not that much as I wish. So no, mostly it was just Europe, Asia, and that's it, I guess. Yeah. Actually, I was about to go to United States as well, but I changed my plans and I'm in Portugal. No regrets too.
Yeah, I mean
But I
that's
still
pretty
wanna
good.
visit to United States too, but maybe later.
Yeah, come visit. It's good.
Sure.
It's a good spot.
Where you
Depend.
now, by the way?
We live in Michigan City, Indiana. It is on
Okay, I
like
know more or less where
yeah,
it's.
it's right by Chicago. It's like
Oh,
an hour from Chicago.
okay.
So
Not
yeah.
not surf place really, but nice.
Yeah, but we surf on the lake. So that's why we started the podcast because There's a bunch of people here that surf this big lake.
Oh, wake surf?
Lake, no, just regular surfing, but on the lake.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
right. You have these giant lakes to surf, right? I forgot about.
yeah,
That's
it's like
cool.
a freshwater ocean, really.
That's
So, yeah, it is really cool, and so that's kind of why we started the podcast because it's weird to surf on the lake, and so we just kind of have met all these
no, it's
different
just
people.
special, in Munich, for example, they have this river surf, this
Hmm.
little spot with a lot of locals, but still. Yeah, and in Moscow, for example, we have wake surf, but it's not same still. Like people like it, but I still feel like you don't have to pedal there, and I feel like it's main part of process for me,
Yeah, I think
like to
they're,
get wave, not just to surf, just to get wave.
yeah, because you have to, first you have to like actually catch the wave by paddling, which is sometimes you might be able to pop up, but you can't paddle to catch the actual wave. So,
That's what I mean. That's why wake surf feels a bit fake for me, because it's kind of cheating. You don't need to pedal. It's kind of not fair. Or what the hell? But I don't know. No, I respect these guys too. It's just not my thing.
yeah. Well, that's like we tried kite surfing, me and Andre, and it was cool as well, but also not my thing. Like there's so much gear involved. I respect it. It's very cool. But with surfing, you just grab the board and up
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
water. Like
I
with the
know what you mean.
kite surfing, it's like you got to bring out everything and all the gear and blow up everything. I'm like, man, I'll just take my board out. It's so
I
much
know
easier.
what you mean. It feels like too many extra stuff. And yeah, and surfing is most natural thing, I guess. You just need board and that's it.
Yeah, I saw this guy actually followed us on Instagram, the podcast, and he makes these wake skis. Have you seen this? It's like a kayak surfboard
Oh
with
my
a
god.
fin, and then you paddle it, and it's so cool looking. Seriously, it's like, but he wears a helmet because I guess you can smash your head
Yeah.
on the things. But he's catching waves on this little like it's like a thin kayak with one.
Yeah, I got it. Never seen, but looks cool. Sounds cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
can. It's another thing I love about surfing that people keep improvise. They keep finding new ways to do it. It's incredible. Even like, for example, I cannot do airs, but I know that airs actually exist not that long time.
mhm.
All this, yeah. And about art, another thing actually that when first time I was in ocean, I felt like it's a bit like I'm in spaceship. I never been there, but it feels like when you first time in this giant ocean, just with teeny bird, you feel a bit lost. But that's why a lot of my art also about space and waves, because it gives me feelings like I don't know
That's
coming.
cool. Well, there's something I'm not from the ocean either. So when I first went surfing, I was just kind of kept looking out because you can't see the other side. And you're just like, wow, it's so massive. So I could imagine it feeling like space. I just remember guys saying to me, like, it's so big, but just don't think about sharks. Like, as soon as you think about sharks, they come. But if you don't think about sharks, then they don't come.
Oh, and maybe you ever have any stories with sharks or other animals in
uh,
ocean?
I I have a couple of stories. I did see a shark, two sharks. One was like a local shark, and so the guys were like, "Oh, he's friendly. Don't worry about him." I'm like, "Okay."
It's
Yeah,
scary for me, but okay.
it was so scary. Yeah, and I only surfed for like a few minutes after that, and I went in because I was like, "This is too crazy." The other time, I was surfing on the beach with my friends and it was a beach break and I had just caught a wave like all the way in and I was on the land and I turned around and there was like 10 of my friends, and I see this huge fin, like, right around my friends. And I'm, like, doing this. I'm, like, going like this. I'm like, guys. And the lifeguard's like, shh, don't. You're going to scare all the people. So we'll go out there and scare the shark away. So they went out on this little, like, boat with a stick and just, like, tried to push the shark away.
Oh my god.
There was, like, it was a huge, busy day in the summer, and there were so many people on the beach. That was crazy. But this other time, I was paddling across the harbor and, like, paddleboarding, and there was, like, 5 or 6 other people, and we went out with a bunch of, like, they were tourists, you know? They were not very smart, these specific group of tourists. And there was this, like, small seal, and it was swimming by itself. And the saying goes, if something's by itself, it's only because there's something chasing it.
Okay.
So there's probably a shark chasing it. And this girl is, like, obsessed with this seal, and she's like, I'm gonna jump in. And I'm like, don't jump in. She's like, I'm gonna jump in and get the seal. I want to go, whatever. And I'm like, don't do it. She goes, I'm doing it. And I'm like, there's a shark following that seal probably. She's like, sharks? I didn't know there were sharks in the harbor. And I'm like, well, we're in the ocean. And she freaked out. We had to get her out and all this stuff. Man. But those are my only shark stories. What about you?
Well, no, really, I didn't. I met shark maybe once, but I was on the boat, so it wasn't scary at all. But I had another scary story. For example, for example, in Indonesia, in my coast, water is not that clear, so you can see only shadows. You cannot see anymore really. And I just see this giant shadow really close to me, like swimming. And it was kind of not secret spot, but it's not that popular. Yeah, I know that it sounds weird about Bali, but yeah, there are some places not that crowded still
Mm-hmm.
on one coast. And I was alone, and a couple of more people there, and I was like, any sharks there? There? No, maybe we don't know. And yeah, and then no, probably just started, and we just start, falling, and finally it's swim out to breathe a bit, and yeah, it was turtle, but it was giant, and I was already, thinking what kind of religion I should pray because I'm not religious. So it's only one scary story about animals and me, but yeah, I cannot imagine. Yeah, sharks. That's the point why I think that people who surf in South Africa and Australia is crazy brave because I have no idea how to do it. I will always think about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just get used to it. I was surfing in Florida, and there's not a lot of killing sharks in Florida, but they bite a lot. So there's a lot of sharks in Florida. They won't kill you, but they will bite you. And I was just, you know, on a holiday, and this
Don't feel like
guy, what?
don't feel like get eaten.
No, but I was on the other side. So, like, the East Coast has the sharks and the West Coast has smaller waves but not a lot of sharks. So I was on actually the West Coast, and this guy was talking about sharks and whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, look, I got bit." And I'm like, "You what?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got bit." And he shows me his foot. 2 months ago, he got his foot bitten by a shark, but exactly like he said, there was no, like, it was just the marks. Exactly. In his foot. Like, it's crazy. And the other guy in there was like, "Oh, nobody's losing their arms out there. They're just biting. It's not a big deal." And I'm just like, that's crazy.
Not a big deal, really.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think everybody has different ideas of fear, you know?
Yeah, probably when you used to eat, bite is nothing already, really. Like, okay, just bite, nothing else. It's like mosquito, a bit
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. And I mean, when you talk to those guys down there, they weren't really worried about it. And one guy told me to watch for the fish, which was actually a really good idea. So, like, if the sharks are coming, they're chasing the fish, and so you can kind of see the smaller fish jumping out of the water in a big group. So he said, don't watch for sharks, but watch for, like, pay attention to the fish, which,
That's smart.
yeah, so that was good advice, but I don't know. When people ask me that, I usually say, I, if I'm gonna go, I think it's okay to go by being eaten by a shark. It's not maybe the worst way to go, so I try not to think about it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, what are you planning on doing while you're in Portugal other than with your art? Or is that kind of your main focus?
Oh, well, my main focus, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here really.
Mm-hmm.
I know because it looks like good place to stay, so maybe I don't know. uh, and I have to think about it. But mostly, I have to think about art. I mean, about my work, but maybe another direction because I was thinking about tattoo a long time already. Uh,
Oh,
Maybe I can start do this because it's always curious. I just a bit scared because it's you cannot just say okay it was wrong idea and it didn't work. I'm sorry. Do
yeah.
something with your leg. That's the problem. So yeah, but I really want to try this. I don't know.
That's pretty cool. And I think it's not that difficult to get into. You can just do like an apprentice with a tattoo shop.
Yeah, I just have to start do it on not on people, maybe on bananas or
Yes.
something. Just have to start practice.
Do you have a lot of tattoos or no?
What?
Do you have a lot of tattoos or
Uh,
no?
Not a lot. I just have five,
Hmm.
but I guess I will have more one day because it's hard to stop.
Yeah,
Everybody.
it
Do you have
is.
to?
Yeah, I do. I have like I think 8 and I have some pretty big ones. So I'm like kind of done for now, I think. I
It's just for now.
Yeah, for now. With the big ones, I went pretty crazy when I was younger and got some really big ones. So now I'm just getting small ones.
But I don't know. People tell that like you will regret it. I never regret any of my tattoos. It's kind of like sign. It's kind of memory, and it's I don't know. I think that older skin will look even cooler with some pics on it.
Yeah, I think so too. And like you're gonna get old anyways. Like we're
Yeah,
all gonna get old, so what does it matter if there's a wrinkly tattoo or just a wrinkly skin with no tattoo?
totally agree.
So when you go for a travel, do you pack a lot of stuff with you or you just kind of take a few things?
Well, actually, this time I was more prepared because mostly I didn't pack much things and I always miss something.
Hmm.
Like with tropical countries, it's a bit easier, but Portugal is a bit tricky because it's like feels like summer today, for example, but tomorrow could be crazy cold. So yeah, this time I'm a bit more prepared. Maybe I'm getting older too. I don't know. So I don't want to be frozen and I want to be feel well. So yeah, but before, yeah, really was able to travel with really small bag, or basically with hand luggage. I can bring into plane, even not luggage.
Hmm.
And with Asia, it was okay even for a year, but it's tropics. It's a bit easier. You just need
Yeah.
swimsuits and some, nothing special. So yeah, it depends, I guess, where you're gonna go.
Hmm. And do you bring a lot of your art supplies with you or do you buy stuff wherever you go?
If I know that something will be hard to find, I'll bring it. And I have some favorite things for sure. Like all the artists, I guess they have some special brushes,
Hmm.
brush, all this stuff, and they just wanna have it. And I always have some minimal stuff in case I won't find it like in few days. I
Hmm.
have something to do, small things at least. So yeah, something I always have.
Is it hard to find what you're looking for if you have to buy something because it's in like different languages?
No, it's not a big problem. Like in Portugal, you can find basically everything for it. It's not a big deal. So I have just few things on me. But for example, in Philippines, it was challenging because you have to order everything online, and quality is sometimes not that good. So it's not that easy. But here, no problem here.
And do you speak the language there, or are you trying to learn it, or you're just speaking English with people?
I'm trying to learn Portuguese now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just starting. I'm just thinking about now actually, because it will be nice. I don't know. I like learn languages because you feel more local. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
more assimilated, and people treat you different when you can speak their language too. So I
Yeah.
guess it will be useful.
Yeah, I think it's a respect thing too. I
Yeah.
think it's like when we were just in Uruguay and man, I don't speak any Spanish at all. But we were only there for a week, but in that week you learn little like whatever. This is cheese and this is whatever when you're ordering food, and even though you're doing it really badly, people can see that you're at least trying, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of respect because everybody knows that it's not your native language. It's the case that you can do something wrong a bit, you can talk something wrong, but I totally agree. It's kind of respect to country because you come here and you have to try at least,
Mhm.
and it's always good for you to learn some new things. It's nothing wrong.
Totally. And Google Translate can only do so much, although it does a lot actually. Like
Yeah, yeah. And
it
these
does
days it's so easy, indeed,
it,
with Google Translate and with everything. You just have to try, and that's it. If it's not your thing, it's all good, but you can try at least.
So did you have an apartment and everything lined up before you came there, or did you have to find that when you got there?
Oh well, actually, this time it was totally different story. Because before I came to Portugal, yeah, for sure I have some friends here, but this time it was a bit easier and harder at the same time because I kind of have boyfriend. He's not
Mhm.
from here, but he's living here too, and yeah, so I'm just staying with him.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good timing. So, do you just have the like 90-day visa, or do you have to apply for a certain visa? How does that work?
I have visa for like touristic visa, but I'm gonna make work visa maybe. I'm gonna try it. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Is it harder there, or is it difficult there, or you don't know yet?
Oh, I don't know yet, but people tell me that it's possible. I mean, especially with my work, like I can try to find something, and yeah, it could work. We'll
That's
see.
cool.
I can
Yeah,
tell you later.
yeah, that sounds good. Keep us updated on that for sure.
Time I'll send you a message from Moscow. It didn't work.
And then we'll know. What are your favorite kind of waves to surf? Like, what's your perfect day?
Well, I'm not big in surfing, especially now, but I like long waves as all surfers, I guess, but not too big, because I'm still a bit chicken. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm pretty relaxed in surfing because for me it's not competition. For me it's more like meditation, you know. So I just enjoy process. So I don't need epic big waves. I just like when it's not broken, just like all the surfers. I mean,
Yeah,
just not a big day with good wind and good offshore. That's it. I'm happy.
yeah, yeah, me too. That's a perfect day.
Yeah.
I I'm the same. A good long wave that you can take and not too many people, you know.
Oh, it's
Just
perfect, but it's no. Actually, it's good time for this in Portugal because it's kind of off season.
mhm.
Winter is too cold for tourists mostly, so not that many people now here. And I'm in south part of Portugal, and it's still less touristic than something around Lisbon, like Riseira, Nazaré, and all these places. Peniche, when I was before. Uh, and I don't know. I feel like this place is way more beautiful and then same time less crowded. So it's that's perfect. I
That's
don't know how
awesome.
long it will last. Probably people will coming. And like my friends already told me that summer will be crowded for sure, but for now it's good because it's not too crowded. Even like for beginners, it's possible to surf.
That's kind of a nice time to go to a new place too, because then you can kind of learn where everything is before it gets crazy.
Yeah, it's like mid-season, and you have time to assimilate a bit to get your shape back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do now. Like today I surfed, and tomorrow I'm gonna suffer for sure.
Yeah. Man, I was kind of like that when I was in Uruguay. I was really surprised that I I've been surfing lake waves for so long, which I love them, but the spacing was so different and you have a lot more time on the ocean waves. And I was surfing with I had him on the podcast. His name's Luisma. He's a professional surfer, and I think he thought like, yeah, we're just gonna go have a surf, whatever. It turned into
Don't
a
trust
less,
the professional surfers.
yeah,
No.
it was like a lesson. He was like, "Oh, you have to do it like this. You have to do this, this, this." And I'm like, "Wow, I I'm out of shape, I guess." Like it was just so different for me, so humbling, make me feel back down to earth again.
That's what I mean. Don't believe to professional surfers. They think that it's also easy, that you just do this, but you just feel like your shoulders don't work anymore and you cannot think about anything else. They can get it. Spoiled kid.
Yeah, I just felt like my paddling was really off. So I've been working on that here since we got back. I've been kind of doing a similar thing, just like trying to get stronger because you're right. If unless you're wake surfing, if you can't paddle, you're not going to have that much fun.
That's for sure. Yoga actually pretty helpful with it.
That's true.
Actually,
That's
it
true.
was really helpful for me because before start surfing, I start yoga, and I realized that it was so helpful with balance and also with hands a bit, not too much, but now I know what to do in yoga to help the shoulders too. I was a bit lazy before I came here, but mostly I do this to
That's
help
cool.
myself a bit.
What are your hobbies aside from like surfing and yoga? Do you have any other things that you like to do?
Wow. I really love music. I mean, I'm a bit crazy about music. I cannot play anything now, but I brought ukulele on me.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's my plan. I wanna try to learn how to play it, hopefully.
And how different is your life from before you started surfing to now?
Well, it's totally different, I could tell, because it's changing everything, all your goals, all your life vision, everything. Because before, I was thinking that I know everything about my life and I know what I'm gonna do, and I know that, like, all this basic stuff, like to get family, to make money, and especially in big cities, it's a problem because you think that you need a lot of money all the time and you have to work as crazy. But after I realized that I wanted something more. It's not everything, and actually I'm too young to have family and all this stuff. Yeah, so I start feel like I'm a kid again, and it was really beautiful feeling because yeah, I realized that no, I don't like myself or how I was before. It's I don't know. I think it gives me a lot of life, and yeah, changed a lot because I can see my friends who kept doing their things, and it's so good. I'm happy for them, but I already feel like I'm happy for them, but I don't want this for me also.
Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to explain to people who haven't done that.
I don't think that someone should explain. Best thing you can do is like try to surf, and some people really don't like it. It's not like some people think that it's annoying because you just have to pedal and pedal and pedal, and then fun for 2 minutes. It's actually quarter of one person I know, and I like okay, just not your thing. It's so good, but yeah, if you like it, and a lot of people love it, then you already realize that you want different things, and that you want to keep this kind of childish lifestyle a bit, but I think it's beautiful because it doesn't mean that you don't grow up. It just means that you keep enjoying your life.
Yeah, I agree. And I think and it's different for everybody, but I do think that there are some things that all surfers have in common, and I do think it is that, childlike wonder, and also you're always getting better. Like you're never number one, like you and me, we're not going to be on the pro tour, So but we're always trying to be better, be stronger, even if you're not the best surfer, like me, I'm trying to get my arms stronger, you're doing yoga, trying to get back into shape. It's like something new all the time.
Yeah, it's just work on yourself, and that's what I mean. For me, like for some people, it's still competition. I know these people, and it's good too, but it's just not my thing. I actually never was into sport before. Like yoga was something new for me, and mostly to feel better because of work in office, because you're just sitting all the time. So I decided I need some activity, and I go to yoga, like most relaxed activity ever. But but surfing was something different to me because I don't feel like it's sport or something. Yeah, you need some skills to do it, but just like you told, I know that I won't be best ever, and I don't want to be. I just want to enjoy it. I love it. That's it. I just want to be kind of part of it. That's it.
Does your boyfriend surf?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
It,
they have
I
to.
think that was the problem. Since I was in Moscow, it was hard to find any people I want to be with. Even friends was a bit more complicated. I have some friends who surf in Moscow, but they don't took it that serious probably as I did. I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe it's my problem. Probably. But I already realized that I need people who understand these things about me and who feel same. That's why I know that anyway, if I'll meet person I want to be with, he will surf for sure.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't need pro surfer or something, but he will love it. But he's pretty good, by the way.
That's good. That's good. I think, again, it's that mindset. Once you have the mindset, it's hard. I just couldn't imagine being with somebody who didn't understand. It would
Yeah,
be so difficult.
because how you can make fun together, how you can plan a vacation together if you have different goals. And then it's easy because you just, let's just find some place to surf. That's it.
Mhm.
So you never
Yeah,
explore it.
totally. I mean, I do know some people that have that relationship, and it works for them because the partner that doesn't surf understands how important surfing is for them. And so they're like, just go do your thing. They're just like, sure, just go do it. But um otherwise, if it's not like that, I don't even know how it could be. And I always tell people like surfing ruins traveling in a way because I'm never not gonna go someplace where I can surf. Like,
Same. That was the problem. When I started surfing, I realized that all my vacations were planned, all my trips were planned just around place where I can surf somehow, or try to surf at least. For example, I still would love to go to India and some more places, but it's not just on my list just because I know that I can surf there. So kind of no. I prefer some place with ocean, please.
yeah. Well, I know there's some parts, I believe in of India where they are starting to surf. I'll
Oh,
just look.
come on, it's not serious. I know that some people surf in Goa, and I talked to
Yeah.
these people, but even they tell that, yeah, but it's kind of touristic thing, and sometimes you can surf there.
Yeah.
Basically, you can surf even in Thailand, and some people surf in Russia too, but I never tried to surf in Russia, and
There's a
some
girl
people,
that we know that or we met her on Instagram, she lives in Siberia. She
Yeah.
does those tours up there. Um,
In Kamchatka, probably,
I
and
think,
Sakhalin.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good there, but it's crazy cold. I mean,
Y-
Portugal already cold for me, and Kamchatka, Sakhalin. I mean, even Portugal is already a bit challenging for me to stay in water, but Kamchatka, Sakhalin already a bit too much. I guess it's not for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know with India, it's kind of, to me, it reminds me of like here. Like people don't take us seriously here, you know? But when you come here, you can realize that it can be a real thing. I was looking, yeah. And I mean, Sri Lanka has,
Yeah, Sri Lanka is really good. I was there.
yeah,
It, it's quite good, and it's also a beautiful country. This culture and surfing is actually, I think it was first best place for me for surfing because waves are really slowly and pretty.
mm-hmm,
I mean, maybe it's different sometimes, but mostly it's not that giant
mm-hmm.
and pretty good. Getting crowded too, but it's problem of every place.
That's true. I mean, I read somewhere, I don't remember where, but that surfing, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the
Mm,
world, and it's one of the only sports that keeps innovating. So like all of the other sports like football, basketball, hockey, the rules have been the same for a long time, and the like equipment, like you play basketball with a basketball and you play soccer with a football,
yeah,
like that stuff. And but with surfing we have longboards, and then shortboards came like in the 80s and 90s, and then now
many
is
things now like skimboards and all this.
and foil boards and all the different types of the ski thing, and it's the one of the biggest parts of innovation in the world in sports is the surfing world. It's kind of crazy.
That's true. And even this electrical surfs, I don't know, I never tried.
Yeah.
Did you heard about?
I think, is that the one where you're standing and it has like a little jetpack thing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks a bit weird to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's fun.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But also those oh, what are they called? Surf. It's like windsurfing. It used to be a really like trendy thing um in like the 90s, and
Yeah,
here in the States it kind of like died off. So then you could get all this windsurfing gear on Craigslist or whatever for like $50 for the whole setup, and now people are doing it again. So it's really cool.
yeah, it's kind of cool. And I don't know actually when it starts that surfing became that popular because it exists pretty long time, but like last I don't know how many 10 years maybe, it's getting crazy popular like everywhere. I don't know if you know reason.
Well, I don't know. I do think it has something to do with like the professional league. So the World Surfing League was really it was really trying to get more people interested in it. And so there was bigger partners in the last 10 years, Samsung, Jeep, Subaru, they have these big sponsors. So also, surfers were in a lot of advertisements for those campaigns that like people were seeing, regular people, not people that live in California or Florida, but people who
Yeah.
live in Missouri or whatever. I think that has a lot to do with it. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, people are traveling more, so when people travel more, they can see different things, and then
True.
um,
It's already doesn't look like something special. It's already looks like oh I can do it too.
yeah, but what I've seen is that because I taught surf lessons for like 3 years here, and kind of what I saw is that there's a lot of it's really busy where the beginners are surfing, but you know, I don't think there's that many people getting into it these days that are like I love it. Maybe like for every 100 people that try it, there's like 15 people that are really interested. Some people might do it for a little bit and then,
Some people can go on vacation sometimes, but yeah, some people just quit work to do this.
yeah.
That's the point.
I think it's coming back to that mindset. What I'm seeing is when I've been following this world surfing tour and the sales of the different companies, and so they sold all these traditional companies, like Hurley was sold to Nike, and then it got really popular. And then Hurley just sold to another company, and they fired like all the professional surfers, like John, very, very famous surfers. And so now they're going to smaller brands. So I think it's kind of going to balance out a little bit more now because I think a lot of people thought that they were going to make a lot of money from surfers, and maybe they didn't make so much money.
They kind of disappointed and calm down finally. Yeah,
I
probably.
I think maybe, and I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of how I'm seeing it. And whatever, people have to make money. I think it's, it's great, but I think people want smaller companies now, maybe.
Well, another problem about since you talk about that people try to make money with this too hard sometimes, and so, like people who are not enough educated start make surf camps and all this stuff. For sure you know about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a bit sad, but it happens with any popular thing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too, and I mean, I'm not against it if it's just your basic uh surfing, because I think anybody that surfs, for the most part, can teach someone how to surf their first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it maybe becomes a problem when someone comes and wants more advanced kind of coaching. Um, and then they can't, like, I can teach someone how to surf in the beginning, and I was doing that for 3 years. But you want, some kind of really advanced surfing. I, I can't help you with that. you know.
Yeah, that is that's true. What else?
I mean, it is, but I
I
think
think
it's yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, about popularization of surfing. I think another thing that helps a lot with I don't know, bringing a lot of people to this sport is social media too, because a
Yeah.
lot of people just watching it and see like, oh, these people surfing, and then like, oh, my neighbor surf too, I can do it too, something like this.
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of again, people are making a lot of money because they are taking pictures for Instagram in these fancy suits, and their boards are like, they've surfed twice and they have this amazing
Yeah, they have
custom.
more than people who surf for 10 years.
Yeah. Which, whatever. I was kind of like that when I first started surfing because it's exciting. You want something pretty and you whatever and
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I felt a bit guilty because once I made shooting for one brand I work with as designer actually, but they
mhm.
asked me to make kind of shooting, and I feel like I'm not really good surfer to do it, but okay, I can do it, but I feel like silly girl, with bird. But yeah, people do it. That's funny.
It is funny. I've had that. I feel that as well because my mom would say to me when I was living overseas, like, I have no pictures of you surfing, and I'm like, I'm not that good of a surfer that I'm going to ask someone, can you take some pictures of me surfing? Because it's not that impressive.
Yeah, it's like basic stuff. I'm not like I don't do something special. I just do basically best I can do, and good if I'm on the wave, and if I surf, it's so good. But there is nothing to shoot really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have pictures like getting ready to surf or putting all my boards on my car or something, but me actually surfing, I think I have like 5 maybe.
Same. I have maybe one set of me surfing, shooting, and it was teeny wave actually. So I'm kind of ashamed about because actually I can do better. But it was the only day when some people I know shoot this session, and okay, I have this peaks. It's so good, but it's kind of like flat rider. So I made fun of myself with peaks, but it's so good.
It's so true, though. It's so funny. So, what is the weirdest wave that you have ever surfed?
Weirdest. So good question. Mm, I don't know about weird, but for example, I can tell weird things about me surfing probably.
Okay, that works.
Because yeah, I'm a bit afraid of a short break. I had one really sad story about short break because yeah, I didn't feel well and always drowned. But yeah, since this time, I'm kind of afraid of short break, even though it's safe and all good. But I just have this panic. So, but I'm totally okay with this reef, even it's totally low tide and it's a bit too big for me. I'm not scared. I'm this have this crazy mentality sometimes. So, for example, in Philippines, I had this famous surf spot Cloud Nine close by, just 2 minutes from my house, and another Quicksilver, and it could be really low. It could be like really low, and reef is pretty sharpy, you know.
Hmm.
But I keep going because like I finished my work, what to do? Okay, let's go surf. It's a bit low, but it's so good. And local surfers were like, you have to go out. I was like, no, it's so good. No, you have to go out. But it's more funny story about me because yeah, about weird wave, I don't really know. I think I didn't surf something really special like one they have in yeah, close to Australia, they have this little island with this,
Tasmania.
yeah, Tasmania with this creepy wave with two steps or something. No, I never searched something alike. Everything was more or less basic.
What was your scariest moment while surfing? Maybe it was your shore break moment.
Yeah, probably yes, but it just was stupid me because I didn't feel well. I was quite depressed, honestly, and I didn't sleep enough, didn't eat enough, and I decided, okay, I cannot do anything. I can go surf. It always was helpful for me, so why not? And I go to that spot where always like couple people more. I decide, okay, it's good, and it wasn't big day, really, nothing scary. But it was too hot, and I started to feel bad, and I realized that I have to go out. And on the way, already almost on short break, I start to feel really bad. Like I can't see anything, I can't feel my arms, I can't feel my legs, and short break was really heavy there, so I cannot just reach it, and it just mixing me, and I'm a bit afraid that I can have blackout and no one around. So it was scariest moment in my life, but luckily I was able to see that maybe there are some people, some locals like on the beach. So I just raised my hand and they helped me. But yeah, it was totally scariest moment while surfing because I was already like feel like I breathe really hard and all this. So it was scary and it was stupid, but it was totally my mistake.
Well, as long as you learned from it.
Yeah, as long as I'm alive after this, and now I'm a bit smarter, and I know that if you don't feel like you have another day to surf, it's so good.
Totally. And what is next for you?
Next stop.
Like next, whatever, like what's next in your life, or what are you planning on doing next,
But
or
for now, I'm just gonna go back to surfing and like to feel like I'm surfer again, not like I'm just shitty girl who trying to surf. Because now I feel kind of useless and feel just you know no you can surf this wave because maybe I'm not able to, so I don't wanna you miss this wave because of me. So now I'm
Mhm.
like this, I just wanna go back here, and yeah, I just gonna keep doing my business. That's it.
That's
Nothing.
awesome.
I'm actually really bad with plans, because I follow the flow, and we'll see. It never was too bad for me.
That's a good way to do it. And if people want to reach out to you, how can they find you?
Well, best way to do it Instagram, because recently I canceled my website because I don't like how it looks like. I want to remake it in future, but for now I have Instagram, and Instagram has my email, so it's easy way to reach me, and I'll answer for sure. I'll be happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. It was nice to talk to you, and it was nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
And that was episode 29. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you are enjoying the podcast. We have done almost 30 episodes. It is really crazy to even think about, and just want to thank you guys for all of your support, for listening, sharing, and everything that you have been doing. If you are interested in checking out Irina's work, I will leave the link in the description. She also has the surf matryoshkas, which are the small Russian nesting dolls, but surf varieties. Those are really, really cool. She makes custom ones, so I would check those out. And as always, we will see you next Monday again with another podcast. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Have a good day.